I am a faithful woman. Well, you are like what, 17, 18? You're stupid. I'd be freaking out. Bella is the most teenager there ever was. I don't care. Hello and welcome back to Alexandria Loves Books. This video was filmed 8 months ago. Whoops! Originally, I was going to read the entire Twilight Saga in one long reading vlog. I ended up reading Twilight in September. I read New Moon in October through November, and I still haven't read Eclipse. It's such a... Okay, I have no excuse. Actually, I do have an excuse because I was quite busy in December, and then January there were wildfires, my stuff was stolen, I was sorting my life out, a lot was going on in my life. So I didn't get to the series again. But in the coming few months, I see myself reaching for it because I'm excited to read Eclipse. Hey, it's me again. This is me filming the outro and realizing I didn't tell you my history with Twilight. So brief little interruption. I have never read these books. I just lied to you. I read Eclipse in middle school and Breaking Dawn because those were my favorite movies. And they still are my favorite movies out of all of them. I have seen all the movies, but I haven't read all of the books. I watched all the movies, and then in middle school, I checked out Eclipse, and I remember I checked it at the school library, and the librarian was like, this isn't the first in the series, and I just said, yeah, I know. So this is me reading these for the first time. Okay, anyway, get back to the intro. Bye. Enjoy this part 1 reading vlog, reading the Twilight Saga of Twilight and New Moon. Also, I think this is a spoiler reading vlog. We've all watched or read Twilight by now, right? Well, I hope so. I am 128 pages in, about to start chapter 7. I haven't had too many thoughts and updates because I have watched the movies, so I know the basic plot of the book. But I will say it's very interesting to read about the differences in the characters of the movies versus the book, because they are different. And also the random little scenes that are in the book that aren't in the movie. It's just really interesting. I feel like I'm seeing a new side to Edward. I feel like he actually is coming across like a teenager, in my opinion, in the book rather than the movie. Also, I knew that Bella was clumsy from the movies, but in the book, I feel like she's even more clumsy. She's just constantly falling and tripping. And I feel like too, I like that we're kind of getting a little bit more of Edward's personality, because there's more that can be fit in here than in an hour and a half movie or whatever. Also, the fact that this started off with a Bible verse is wild. Genesis 2:17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. It is so silly. I'm now on page 236, chapter 12, and she knows what he is, which we all know what this is about, so that's not, he's a vampire. And she finally figured it out. It's weird how the differences between the book and the movie. In the book, at least, she doesn't even seem surprised that he's a vampire. She just kind of accepts it, and it's yeah, you're a vampire. Now me, on the other hand, if I met someone and then found out they were a vampire, I'd be freaking out. I'd have questions and be confused. She's not. She accepts it as facts very easily. I also wish that their journey from strangers to having feelings for each other was a little stronger. I feel like they almost went from not knowing each other to liking each other not very quickly. I mean, it took a bit, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm like, I didn't feel the feelings grow, if that makes sense. It just kind of was like, oh, this mysterious man who's really hot, I have questions for him and I want to be around him. The thought of not being around him makes me sad or hurts me and it's painful, and now I'm in love with him. I know they are soulmates, okay? I am Team Edward all the way. I love Bella and Edward together, but I don't know, I wish their falling into likeness and love was a little stronger. This feels like girlhood. Why the long khaki skirt? Why? I praise God that wasn't put in the movie. Oh my goodness, why? Also, why is she fainting? I don't get it. It's a little dramatic. They're both so dramatic. She fainted because he's too good? What? Jacob. Why did she name the character Jacob after her brother? That's a little weird. I know that they are soulmates because they are. And I definitely really, I like Book Everand. I love him. But Book Bella, the whole time I'm just like, girl, you don't know what love is. You love him more than anything else combined. Do you even, like, I don't know, I just feel like they don't know each other enough yet for it to be this intense soulmate love. But like, they are soulmates. They are. And I mean, honestly, I did feel that way about the first movie too. Book stamped. I feel like just the first book and the first movie, they could, I don't know, get to know each other a little bit better, or at least show us them getting to know each other better. Make it more believable for them to be this in love, especially when she's just 17. It's your first relationship, girl. You don't know what love is. You don't. They're still true. They're soulmates. They're true love. This is what love's about. The codependency, the insta love, the obsession. This is what love's about. Please get that I'm being sarcastic. Please. Codependency is not it. No. Insta love is not it. Not in real life. Only for the books, okay? Only for the books. Book 1 down, 4 more to go. Good morning, guys. As you saw, I did finally start New Moon. It's been about a month since I read Twilight, and already I didn't think I forgot details, but as I'm reading this, I realized that I've forgotten details, which, like, in the grand scheme of things, they're not like the important details, but the things that are different from the movie in the first book, I'm like forgetting how it actually played out in the book. I'm 136 pages in to this 550 page book. New Moon is my least favorite movie. So even as a kid, I read Eclipse and Breaking Dawn because those were my favorite movies. I am Team Edward all the way, okay? I would never betray Edward by even looking at Team Jacob, okay? I am a faithful woman. So New Moon, the movie, always left me kind of bored because I like Jacob, but just not as a love interest, and I don't appreciate his words and actions a lot of the times. So I was like, oh great, a 550 page book focused on Jacob? I don't want that. But I am learning that movie Jacob and book Jacob are different. I don't know if I'm gonna like book Jacob more, but he's definitely different, so I am a little bit more interested and intrigued. I also really like getting to know Bella better and like understanding why she does things she does in movies way better because I know her like inner dialogue and everything. This is gonna take me quite a bit, but let's keep reading. So apparently book Jacob is 6'5", and I just can't picture it. I don't know how tall Taylor Lautner is, but I don't think 6'5". I don't think he's that much taller than Kristen Stewart. At least the way my brain remembers the films. So that's weird. He's also like 16. A 6'5", 16-year-old? Can't picture that. But I don't know. Happy Halloween, folks. I started New Moon many days ago now, and I really wanted to finish this by the end of October. That is not happening. I just have not wanted to read this book or pick it up, and every time I do pick it up, I only read a few pages and then I stop because I'm just not in the mood. I don't care about her story with Jacob. I just don't. I only like Edward. Okay, I don't dislike Jacob, but I don't like him enough to read his like whole book. Like, I don't care. I just want Edward. Okay? Is that like too much to ask? And it probably won't be for many hundreds of more pages. Oh. I'm acting like I just spoiled something for myself, but I fully know what happens. I'm kind of spoiling things a little bit for myself so that I know when the action that I look forward to picks up, and that's not for another about 200 more pages. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna try my best to finish this weekend. No promises though. I'm on chapter 16, Paris. This is just after she, like, Jacobs pulls her out of the ocean after she cliff dives. And can I just say, like, I think we all know how, like, Bella is the most teenager there ever was, right? She's the most, like, dramatic and not grounded person there is. I know Romeo and Juliet was like a thing earlier in this. She really is just like that stupid teenager that like thinks things are so much more, I don't know, intense than they should be. Like, her thoughts as she was like kind of drowning, being like, finally, this is great. And then her being pulled out by Jacob and her being like, am I dying again? I didn't like it. This wasn't as good as the last time. It was only dark now. Nothing worth looking at here. It's just so stupid. Just like her, at least, like, I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? Also, why is Jacob calling her honey? That's weird. What did I say? I said, this is some Juliet, as in some Romeo and Juliet sugar honey iced tea. Page 369. Who does she bring up? Who does she dream about? Juliet. Just this whole parallel and comparison, I can't take it seriously. I'm on page 382, chapter 17, Visitor, and I'm really excited because finally I am at the point in the film and the story that I like. And this is when my team Edward, comes back to play. I just spent 400 pages reading about the team that I don't like, that I'm not on. I'm excited to get back to my true love, Team Edward. I'm so happy to be hearing of Edward. I'm so happy. 4:12, and I think like the phone call is about to happen in the kitchen. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hate Jacob for this. Oh, it was Carlisle that called? I thought it was Edward. I knew it wasn't Carlisle on that phone. I'll go alone if you're afraid. I'm only afraid of getting you killed. I almost get myself killed on a daily basis. Tell me what I need to do. I always wondered like what note Bella left Charlie when she goes to Italy, or like how that happened. And like in my mind, like say something about how, oh, Alice and I decided to do like a weekend road trip, be back in a few days. Like, I don't know. But Dad, I'm with Alice. Edward's in trouble. You can ground me when I get back. I know it's bedtime. So sorry. Love you so much, Bella. Okay. Well, you are like, what, 17, 18? You're stupid. I've always found it so funny, both like in the movie and now reading it in the book, that like they're like racing, rushing, freaking out, trying to get to Italy to make it in time to save Edward. And like they're, you know, driving really fast and like, go, 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 quickly, get your stuff, let's go. And then they're like running and going all fast. And then they get on a plane, like a regular average plane. Like, and obviously, like, yes, it's the fastest way if a plane is very fast, but it's like, rush, 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 rush. Okay, let's sit and just wait on the tarmac, wait for boarding. And then I don't know how long that flight from Washington to Italy is, but it seems like a long flight. But like, it just feels like it's going so fast, like rushing to get there, and then just this break of just super slow. And I just like imagine them reading like a cheesy, beachy rom-com, you know, in the plane, just like, ooh. And then it gets like really fast again as they like get to Italy and then are rushing again. I don't know why, and I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it's so funny, just the change of pace. Like, what do they do on this plane for however many hours that is? They just like talk about their day or listen to some tunes, listen to an audio, but like, what are they doing for that long flight? Alice lifted the phone on the back of the seat in front of her. Did planes have phones attached to the back of the seats? I didn't realize Alice thought that she was gonna die. And also, usually planes, it's like a row, like 3 seats together. So like, who is stuck sitting with them, listening to them talk about, can't Edward hear you? As soon as he heard your thoughts, he would know I was alive. Or they're gonna kill him and they're gonna fight and they're gonna, like, what? Imagine being that like 3rd person, being like, what freaks am I sitting next to? I was right, there's a guy in the aisle seat who's a businessman in a dark suit and a laptop on his knees, and he puts headphones on to not listen to their weirdness. I called it. I feel really stupid right now. She's like running up to the tower right now to save Edward. And I was thinking to myself, like, ugh, they're so dramatic, these teenagers. First, she's trying to take her own life, and now Edward is, because he thinks that she has succeeded. And then I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, this like really is like Romeo and Juliet. I feel so stupid. I have watched these movies a billion times. How did it never click? Like, there's a whole thing about them talking about Romeo and Juliet in the beginning. There's a Romeo and Juliet quote at the beginning. I even was like, oh my gosh, she really is like Juliet, like a stupid teenager that thinks like romance and love is life or death, and it's just really much. I never put together the pieces that this plot is literally Romeo and Juliet, or at least there's this part. Juliet, Bella has this plan to do something, and it is risky and reckless, but it's not actually gonna kill her. Romeo, Edward, thinks that Juliet, Bella, is dead and takes his own life, but Bella, Juliet didn't actually do it. But just in this, she actually saves him in time. Am I the last person to know that and put together those pieces? I feel so dumb right now. Finally finished New Moon, reading the acknowledgements, and it says, thanks to all my siblings, Emily, Heidi, Paul, Seth, and Jacob, for letting me borrow your names. I hope I didn't do anything with them that makes you wish you hadn't. You named a love interest after your brother. That's weird. This version of me has not edited the footage yet, but I did take a brief little perusal, and I don't even think I gave you any ratings or my final thoughts. And you know what's even better is that on Goodreads, I did not leave a review. I can't fully tell you my accurate thoughts as I read these like 6 to 8 months ago. What I can tell you are my ratings. Twilight, I rated 4 stars. From what I can remember, I mean, you've seen the footage more recently than I have. I think I liked it, but it was definitely different vibes to me than like the movie. But I liked getting to know the characters better because we got more scenes than we did in the movie, and we got to see the kind of, I don't know, a deeper version of them, more of them. And so I did like that. I feel like Bella really read as a stupid teenager, naive, innocent, making bad choices. I feel like in the movie, like, it definitely came across, you know, she's a stupid teenager, but it comes across way stronger and more in this one. So I rated it a 4-star. I wasn't like obsessed, I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. New Moon, I rated 3 stars, no review. All I remember is that I started this and then put it off for a bit because I am not Team Jacob, and it was kind of boring me because this is mainly like Jacob's book. I like Edward, and I'm Team Edward, and I care about their love story. I care about Jacob, but I'm not invested in like their connection or anything, so I was bored through a lot of this, but it was still good. And then once we got to the ending, when Edward comes back in, I was happy. I feel like this was kind of Sugar Honey Iced Tea show of a reading vlog. It's filmed 8 months ago. There's no final thoughts except me trying to remember from 6 to 8 months ago, and I only read 2 out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. Thanks for sticking with me. It's been a journey. I'll see you next time.
Sunset whispers in the breeze.